welcome. Hello. We are here. A 7-point win for the Cats. A couple of goals for Ablett, playing predominantly forward, as we spoke so much about it over summer. A couple of goals for Hawkins, including number 500. Tim Kelly had 31 touches. For the Pies, who had their chances and probably wasted opportunities late in the second quarter, it was 34 touches for Adam Chalor, 3 goals for Jamie Elliott, although spent a little bit of time on the bench with a lower leg issue. So we'll see how Jamie Elliott is, touch wood, for a man who's electrifying in the first half. 7-point lead for the Cats. We're going to get into it all very shortly. The new rules, goal reviews, your thoughts on where these two teams sit now as we head into 2019. But we have launched
the Duck
The
Award.
Duck.
So the Duck Award is obviously, it's named after the great man, the great Wayne Carey. We know that. And we've got just a little intro here, which we've put together to officially launch the Duck Award. Here it is.
It's a wrestle, Carey! Huskus, Carey! Shoving in the goals, Carey! Now where is he? There he is! What a catch! In the vicinity of Carey.
Have a look at that.
The Duck.
Some of the graphics, I'll tell you what.
And you made that. So congratulations to you, who obviously, when they say to an AFL player, go out and learn a craft, that's what you did. You spent 13 years playing AFL every Wednesday afternoon.
Imagery.
Working on that. So that's excellent. And the reason we did come up, obviously Wayne Carey, of course, a huge part of Channel 7 commentary team, but also the very fact that he was dominant on Friday nights, and that's where we aim to be.
It was his night.
With the Armchair Experts.
It was his night, and it was generally his weekend after a Friday night game. And this award, the best on ground, is named after the great man. So one of these each week will go out. We can actually
know what we should do?
We're going to post these out.
Are we really?
To the clubs and to the individual players.
Yes.
We'll get yourself to sign it,
which
I'll treasure. So each week we're going to have a new duck that will get sent out to the best player on the ground.
So whoever the best player, and also at home, hashtag Armchair Experts to get involved, because we ask you for your 3, 2 and 1. So it won't only just be what you and I come up with or who we think, but also
we'll get the people involved.
Are we also going to put in a little bit like if someone did something amazing, didn't do anything else for the rest of the game, are they eligible to be involved to win the duck?
Anyone is eligible to win the duck.
So if you
all they've got to do is impress us. That's basically it.
Fair enough.
Which is quite easy.
Hashtag Armchair Experts.
Coming off a low base.
First ever the Duck medal or the Duck
First ever
tonight.
Duck.
So we're going to send it out. So get involved. Hashtag Armchair Experts. 3, 2 and 1. We'll announce who got the votes at the end of the show. All right, let's talk about the game because
are we not giving away the duck now?
No, we're not. We're not. We're going to see what people say first.
I'm going to keep holding it.
You keep holding on to the duck. All right, before a 7-point win, let's get into moments that matter. And there's one big one. There's always, in particular in a close game, and when it comes down to the last minute, something always happens that essentially turns the tide to the team that ultimately wins. Was there one that stood out for you?
There was a couple. This one was probably the main one. That is a why didn't he stroll into goal and just snap that one around his body to go? He got a bit gun shy. Look, even Bucks is.
He's asking.
No idea. There's a fan there that's very unhappy. That would have put them back even. Now I know they caught up and got themselves back even, but momentum would have been all their way. It was a simple goal from De Goey. He had a little brain snap, tried to go back the opposite way, and then ended up getting tackled. So that's one of the moments that mattered.
How many times have I said on this particular show, and this does, and I don't hesitate to admit this is born, this theory, from my selfish attitude and nature that I go through in all walks of life.
Extremely selfish.
But inside 50, how many times have I said, I thought we were leaving that on the shelf in 2019.
Your car?
I thought...
She should get the Duck Award for putting up with it for as long as she did, but anyway.
Too many athletes inside 50 are too unselfish, and you can be selfish by being unselfish. You've got to look, and that's exactly, Jordan De Goey is a legit superstar inside 50. He's a man that trembles and makes opposition defenders quiver with fear. And he had an opportunity there to seize the momentum in a game that was seesawing. And trying to go Josh Thomas, who hadn't had a big night
I'm with you.
up until that point.
You can't argue with that call. I'm not sure what he may have thought that someone was closer than what they were, but just a regulation, snap around the body and get themselves even. The crowd lifts, they lift, and then they're away from there. So I think that cost him.
Big shout out to Mark Blitzavs as well, because had the Pies have won, we would have singled out the time he put it on the full of one step. So
and also Jeremy Howe's one-step kick out of defence that Paddy Dangerfield marked to put them 7 points up and out of reach. So shout out to Jeremy Howe as well. All
right, what'd you make of it? This is a game, and if you look at the story of the game so far, if you're just joining us, if you've been out, wherever you have been tonight, it was really dominated early by the Cats. They wasted opportunities going inside of 50. Then the Pies wasted a lot in the second quarter, and probably that lead should have been 5 goals, maybe at half-time, and it sort of seesawed from there. And the conditions looked a little dewy out there. There was some humidity that you touched on, and the fact is that when there was opportunities to be had, both teams missed at critical times. In the end, Geelong took theirs. How did you see it play out, though, for two teams that are expected to be pretty good?
Oh, well, it was pretty scrappy. I don't know if it was defensively a really strong game from both sides. The game last night I thought was a lot more entertaining, Richmond and Carlton. It was more open, so maybe these two teams, obviously Richmond are very well drilled in terms of setting up the ground and defending, but these two teams seem to lock the ball in, and there was very scrappy. There weren't too many numbers free in the first half.
This is what happens when you have two better teams play each other as well.
Well,
right?
I get that. Well, and I thought maybe I've misread Geelong slightly after beating the grand finals from last year in round one. I thought they may slip down the ladder, but their forward half put on a lot of pressure tonight, which is very good. And obviously they've got superstars in their midfield. Gary Ablett, Gary Ablett didn't look great in the JLT in the pre-season up forward, but was absolutely sparkling tonight. And if he can get up the ground, and he wanted to get it, he was in the centre bounce in the middle in the last quarter, but if he can get up the ground and play almost as an extra mid, roaming half forward and kick a couple of goals as he did tonight.
Honestly, though, I'm being honest about this. How old is he, 34?
I think he's older than that. I
think
he's
34, 35. All right, around that mark. Name me a 34-year-old professional athlete who's had the success that he has had in any sport who cares about pre-season.
Allen Iverson?
Allen Iverson doesn't care about pre-season. He cares about practice.
You're talking about practice?
This is why you don't take much out of pre-season, because if you're a kid, okay, if you're young Tom Atkin, you play JLT, you're fired up because you're trying to and successfully got himself a game in round one. If you're Gary Ablett, do you care?
Oh, you've got to do enough work to get through.
For what?
What about LeBron?
What does Gary?
LeBron puts in.
LeBron doesn't even show up now in regular season games. He ain't playing and caring about pre-season.
He did his groin and threw the toys out of the cot, and that's it. Goodbye, Luke Walton. Anyway, but
point is,
we digress.
Yeah, we do. Don't worry about pre-season, and I don't think there was a huge amount of.
I'm with you. Pre-season's overrated.
I also agree.
If you've done 15 of them, like Gary Ablett's done, then you probably need to do about 50% of it.
Just on the Geelong mids, and the fact that Gary Ablett played predominantly forward and was, at different times, really dangerous. He just got that sense he could do some magical things late in the game, and I think that's exactly what Geelong are going to bank on if their midfield continues to play well. Now, Kelly had it 31 times tonight. He doesn't, for my liking, use the ball anywhere near well enough, but he gets a lot of it. Mitch Duncan had a really good
hang on a minute. Let's just back the truck up a little bit. How many times did you scream at the television this evening about Tim Kelly's disposal? Now, he's going to be on big money when he goes to Fremantle or West Coast next year. How much do you think he's worth? Because you don't think you think the real knock on his game is his ability to kick the footy.
Is that in dispute? Like, legitimately? Wait, you disagree? I
think under pressure, he kicks a few helicopters, but so does Paddy Dangerfield, still one of the better players in the game.
Agreed. Look, he's going to play. He'll have a big year, and he's going to probably get $700,000-800,000 next year to go home. Good cash. Although the fact is, he's lost a little bit of leverage because he's only going to a two-team town or wants to go home, so that probably hurts a little bit because there's no competing teams. Right. But he gets it a great deal. He's stronger. He looks more explosive than he did last year in his rookie year. But he still wasted too many. There was one going inside 50 when the game was seesawing that he missed a wide open target by 5 or 6
Tried to kick it on the outside of his right foot.
And look, you be pedantic, and we sit here and we say, oh, he had it 31 times, and you're being harsh on him. Yeah, but you know what? That's the difference between being a really good footballer and turning into a superstar. And if he actually hits a little more targets and can be cleaner with the ball, he will be a superstar in this league.
Well, you might not like the Duck Award, and
he won't win the Duck Award
a bit later in the show. But
he won't win the Duck
Constable,
Award.
really good first game. Kicked
great.
a clutch goal late in the last quarter, so plenty to work with there. Parfit will only get better as he gets more minutes in there. So they're starting to transition now from having the same guys in there all the time, and it's going to serve them wonders, I think, in the back half of the year.
If the mids can hold up and win enough of their ball, because at different times when Collingwood got on top, but Geelong were able to stem some of the blood flow at different times enough to stay in it. That's when Ablett's so dangerous, because he doesn't have to go. Chris Scott doesn't have to say, oh, Ablett, start the fourth quarter in the middle of the ground. There will be a different time.
And he doesn't have to spend 8 to 10 minutes in there. He can spend 3 or 4 minutes in there, rotate the guys through there. So even Selwood played a little bit more out on the wing tonight. It's a good-looking midfield for Geelong. We put up the graphic pre-game about this superstar Collingwood midfield, and they were beaten by the Cats tonight.
What do you think of the rules? Did you notice
What
the rules?
rules?
Did you notice them last night?
Well, I'll tell you what, I noticed the rule once tonight,
When?
and that was a clean tap out from Brodie Grundy, who got it down to Dane Beams, straight inside 50. Your man Mason Cox, the apology award, kicked the goal from it. Apart from that, I didn't notice the 666, as they call it. Jeez, we need to come up with a new word or a new phrase for this 666 business. Can we call it the 18 or I don't?
Did you know that someone on
Can we
radio,
just move on with it?
Someone rang me last week on the radio and talked back and said we should call it the 135315 rule because it's not actually 666. I thought it wasn't too bad, but a little bit wordy. Also, you're right. 666 works. I'm not huge on it because the rules already stipulated when it comes to congestion in the middle of the ground, they couldn't have any more people in there. Now, I understand if the ruckman puts it straight down the throat of the rover and they burst through the pack.
Yeah, which happens once a game.
Also point out that Mason Cox shouldn't have got that free kick.
Yeah, that wasn't a free
as
kick.
well. So, but
and you'll take any opportunity to pot Mason as well.
No, I'm not trying to pot him on this particular situation. What I will say though is that when you late in games, I think it was Wayne Carey said it a couple of times. Really good where you can't flood back. So that is one where the 666 comes in. You talk about me yelling at the screen. You were the one angry about the new rule we can kick in from behinds, which wasn't done a great deal.
No, it's backfired.
Well, in what way?
It's backfired for the AFL and the game because what is happening now is people are setting their zones back. And how many times tonight did you see a player kicking out from fullback and kick it down the middle?
Well,
it's completely eroded the risk-taking down the middle of the ground. Every player runs wide and kicks wide to a contest. Which slows the game down and it's created more congestion. So this rule has backfired because sometimes in previous seasons, the best kickers or they open up both flanks and open up the middle of the ground and work in and kick it long down the middle. Might only happen a few times a game. Now, no one's kicking it down the middle because there's too many numbers at centre-half back.
I mean, this is what exactly happens when you change rules. And we said this 1,000 times. The head coaches have about 9, 10, 15, 20 men and women who work under them. They work about 120 hours a week to work the rules to make it to their advantage to win a premiership. But the coaches don't care if the game's better looking.
They don't.
They don't. They just care about winning, getting 4 points, making finals, winning a premiership.
How dare you,
and that's exactly what they've done. Off Twitter, hashtag Armchair Experts to get involved. At T-Racker, yes, it seems harder to kick a goal.
well spotted.
The rule changes.
Well spotted, T-Rack.
Boxhead_31, the one where anytime Cox goes near the ball, he's awarded a free kick.
This is your burner account, this one.
Big shout out to Kevin Durant as well.
31. Yeah, another Mason Cox. Well, you demanded that Cox tweet. Yeah, he didn't have a great night tonight.
Nah, but it wasn't a good night for big men. It wasn't a good night for big men.
No, and he got outmarked really late by Harry Taylor in a one-on-one that he just needed to halve too. So that'll come with time.
I just want to point this out. On Mason Cox, I still take a lot of grief on social media and wherever I might be. At the pub, in fact, a couple of weeks ago. I think he's a solid footballer who, where and when he started the game, has developed really well. Except we are now, because he's got an accent, call him a superstar, and I think that's a bridge too far. That's my point with Mason Cox.
Are you saying that the AFL should not have based their whole pre-season video around an American?
No, I actually don't mind that because the actual situation where he finds himself playing in a team, one of the biggest teams in the country, is outstanding. Let's just not call him a superstar. That's my point about
Has he
Mason
gone
Cox.
past Buddy Franklin in terms of profile?
In terms of profile? Yes. He probably almost has. I might be too far. At BK6785. Seriously, what's going on with the goal reviews? Taking over a minute to make a decision from blurry vision. Need cameras with a higher frame rate.
Oh, really?
Now.
Hang on. At P. Guthrie, no, that was the intent. Change the game to make it more watchable, but without an obvious reason. Right. Not sure what that means.
Don't know. Marcus has put that up on us. He's got a new jacket and he's put that up on it.
New jacket.
Can we just talk about the goal review system? There's one tonight.
This is
minute
another.
48.
Now, you can't spend a minute 48 on this yourself.
I don't need to. I'm going to say in about 10 words or less. The AFL make all these rules to make the game faster and more aesthetically pleasing because we live in an entertainment-driven world where if it gets a little bit boring, eyeballs, attention spans drops off. Okay, yeah. So then they have a goal review system that slows. It goes actually against the grain of what they're trying to do with the rule changes because one, we sit there for a minute 48, and if I was certain we were getting the right result, I'd sit there for 5 minutes if it made sure at the end of the year we got the premiere that we deserve, and it hasn't yet happened. But to sit there for a minute 48 and still have no idea if in fact it was a goal, it was a touch, if it hit the behind post or whatever it might be, that just seems ridiculous. Put it back in the men and the women's hands who are paid to be the goal umpires, even have 2 goal umpires if you think it's going to help, and go back to the way it has been or was been for the better part of 150 years.
What are the odds of the umpires just going with the honesty of the player in a situation like that? Can we trust the players to be honest in that? So Tom Stewart said straight away, touch, went and grabbed the footy to kick it out.
Are you serious or not?
In a moment like that,
serious?
can we
right?
trust the players
No.
and their honesty?
No.
Because he's obviously he's felt it touch his
No.
hand.
Can you tell me this? 29-minute mark of a grand final.
You're one of the most dishonest people I've ever met, too,
Tell-
by the way.
Yeah,
So,
tell me this.
in terms of skepticism.
29-minute mark of the grand final,
Yeah.
and it's all, well, there's a 5-point difference, or it's all tied up, or whatever it might be.
You don't want to cheat to win. What?
You're telling me that AFL players, okay, so someone kicks a goal, they're 4 points behind, puts him in front, the siren's about to go, and then the goal umpire says, hey, Harry Taylor, did you get a fingernail to that? Yep, got it. Oh, no, I didn't leave it.
Harry
Congratulations.
Taylor. Yeah, caught the bit of hand in my sock, umpire.
Come on. You're joking, right?
I'm just coming off because I'm an honest. I'm an honest person. That's all. I would tell the truth.
You're in a grand final.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time since that happened. Under 17.
All right, one of
West Adelaide.
One of those prelims.
Yeah, that we lost.
Okay, perfect example. Nick Revolt kicked one off the ground that cost you, well, it didn't cost you, but sealed the 09 prelim.
Yep.
One of your defenders, might have been Dale Morris, was claiming, or might have been Brian Harris at the time.
Yeah.
One of them claimed that he touched it.
Probably Harris.
Right? One of them claimed he touched it. And I have no idea, in the end of it, there was no review system at the time. Right?
So someone claimed they touched it?
Yeah, at the time. Right? It was either way.
Wouldn't have been Morris.
But my point is,
Nerd.
they didn't touch it, yet claimed they did because everything was on the line in that particular moment. You're telling me
I'll have to go back and have a look at the vision.
You don't honestly believe AFL players would be honest about that?
Oh, I just thought that, maybe because I'm honest, I'm naive in that area of life. Possibly, Cameron. You're obviously not.
Hashtag
Given the way that you live
Experts.
your
Do you
life.
think they should change it where the honesty of players comes in?
No, when it's not obvious.
That's one of the dumbest things.
That one wasn't obvious, was it?
That's one of the dumbest
So
things.
you say, Tommy, did you touch that, mate? I said, yeah, it just grazed my hand.
That is one
then
of the...
you move on.
One of the dumbest things
You
I've
waste
ever
a
heard.
minute 48 of your life. We move on.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, let's go back. Duck time.
Quack, quack.
Duck time. The Duck Award.
No.
3, 2, and 1's been thrown
We're
out
not
there.
ready to do the duck
We're
yet.
not ready to do it. Well, yeah, we
All
are.
right, we'll do the duck.
We're gonna get to the people's votes, but let's start with you.
All right.
Where are you looking?
I'm looking at my own votes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One vote. How many possessions did he have?
Oh,
He
but
was
you know what? You know what we don't do in the Duck?
No,
We
what?
don't actually worry about possessions.
No,
and
no. I'm just
statistics.
reading out his overall numbers.
This is the eye test.
Because
So come on.
Adam Treloar, 1 vote
34 touches.
for the quack quack.
Yeah, 34.
And kicked a goal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Collingwood's most prolific midfielder on the evening. Now, we don't have to look at the numbers for this one.
Mm-hmm.
2 votes. Darcy Moore.
He was outstanding.
Should have probably got the duck, but unfortunately Collingwood didn't win. So that's the only reason I didn't give him the duck. I thought his game on Radaglia was superb. Read the ball, took a number of intercept marks. Really courageous act running back with the flight of the footy too. So although he does look strikingly similar to Keira Knightley in that soccer movie,
Better like Beckham.
he was the second best player on the ground this evening to
You gave
Darcy Moore.
The Duck tonight to who?
The 2020 Fremantle recruit of the season, Tim Kelly. First, the inaugural duck goes to Tim Kelly.
You know what?
You can't... His overall impact of the game, I know he didn't kick the footy that well, but he wasn't alone
No, that's true.
out there tonight. So he had, I think he almost had double-figure clearances. He was everywhere, really clean below his knees. It was one of the standouts in that area. So every time he was near the ball, he made something happen. Broke tackles, picked the ball up cleanly and distributed to his teammates. A few inside 50s to go with that. So quack, quack. The inaugural Duck Award goes to Tim Kelly.
At 32 RJ says 362-616.
3-2.
Just giving us numbers.
So 3 is...
Oh, you go. It's a 6-6. I see what's going on.
right,
Marcus
right.
at the back's put on the iPad, and he's.
I thought he was saying that,
Yeah, so
that
do I.
Parfitt was the best
So he
player
wants to
on the
call
ground.
it. Sorry, 32 RJ. It's nice. He wants to call the 3-6-2-616 rule.
Yeah, I like it.
There you go.
Not
All
bad.
right, cool. KDL, LeBron's dad,
KD, LeBron's dad.
Tim Kelly, Future Eagle.
whoa.
Hashtag Future Eagle.
Yep.
And yep, Riley Jones says Dalehouse 3, Danger 2, Stanley 1.
Oh, it's Reece Stanley.
I would have given it to Jeremy Howe.
Why?
For one reason. He got robbed maybe of Mark of the Year tonight because the umpire didn't pay it.
It was early.
And that's what I think that he could have maybe got something out of tonight because he's not going to get much.
He did cost his team the game in the end when he kicked it straight to Dangerfield. So not sure he gets the quack if he turns it over with a minute to go.
All right, all thanks to PointsBet. This is the Armchair Experts. Get involved anytime you like. Hashtag Armchair Experts. The big calls tonight, which we're going to get to in a split second. But firstly, $1.70 it was paying for Dangerfield to get 30 plus prior to the game. We both thought money for Jam, but he fell a little short.
No, Jam, 27. So just working his way into the season. 95 plus I had for my boys, which was a disappointing one. And we did come up with a wager, which would be however many disposals we are short of the 95. We have to go to McDonald's during the week. We'll film it, and it's a nugget per disposal that we're short. A McNugget, in fact.
McNugget.
So
spicy? Got the spicy McNuggets, actually.
Yeah, well, we'll mix them up.
Okay, cool.
Why not? So I had 95 between the three of those boys, Treloar, Beamsy and Sidebottom. What did I finish up with?
I know.
Oh, all right.
You look at yourself.
You keep talking, I'll count them up.
Well, I had 95 plus for the three boys from the Cats. I obviously tipped the Cats to win, and I ended up on 78.
34,
so I've got to knock 17 McNuggets down
54,
when we go there. Do you
60,
know count?
Where's Beamsy? Of course,
he went down. Hashtag Armchair Experts to get involved. All thanks.
I had 87.
There you
so
go. You got 8 nuggets.
I've only got 8 nuggets. Oh,
there you go.
That's disappointing.
Oh, well, either way.
I was hoping to get at least into double figures. So 8 nuggies for me. How many for you? Sorry?
17 for me.
17?
17 for me, yeah. You know what I call that? A Tuesday.
An entree.
Hey, what I will say, though, at some point over the course of the year, we're going to step these a little bit up a little bit, and we, you know, we'll take ourselves out of the comfort zone of McDonald's.
We'll start with nuggets and we'll end with sort of nude skydiving or something like that.
I would never go nude skydiving. It'd be too cold. All right, before we get out of here, what do you got for us? I know you've been told Cooney's Comics.
No, Cooney's Comics. This is just a little dress up.
What do you mean?
Well, I just got dressed up.
Oh, you got dressed up? Oh.
That's me just filling out the Cool Runnings uniform.
Now, before
I had my lucky egg too,
in
there, and that was quite revealing. So I'm glad that was only had the top half because I had to put the lucky egg, and that was down the bottom region. It's fair to say.
Of course, that was for your beautiful daughter's 18th last Saturday night. Is that correct?
This is correct.
Dressed up party. Right. Now, tell me if this is correct.
Oh no,
Mr. Honesty.
Oh no.
So I had somebody who was at the party who I bumped into on Sunday. And he said to me, I got there about half hour after the event was meant to start, and I couldn't find Adam anywhere. I was like looking around, couldn't see him. Is he gone? And then he pokes ahead next door, and you're sitting there in a Cool Runnings outfit, helmet on, playing the pokies.
Helmet on.
Playing the pokies.
I just needed like 2-minute break from the party. The music was loud.
Come on.
I just thought we were racking up quite a heavy tab at that stage. So I thought I may as well just run a pineapple through.
Okay.
And see if I can pay for the tab.
Okay, fair enough.
No good.
Always gamble responsibly.
Who told you that?
never at all. Now, something else.
Certainly wasn't you because you weren't invited.
No, I wasn't invited. Thank you.
Keeping you away from every member of my family.
Now, something popped up tonight on the Channel 7 commentary, of course, the best in town.
Pal Pepper.
And
no,
it surprised me just a little. In fact, surprised us. In fact, it would have surprised a lot of people because, as you know, pre-game, we spoke about the fact that Gary Ablett, 25 years after he got dudded a goal.
Gary Snur. Yes.
Got added another goal. Well, not only has he got another goal added, he's also back playing.
And he's
look at this.
And he's racking up Brownlow votes too.
So now
248 Brownlow votes for Gary Snur, and look at him.
He looks good.
He looks remarkably like his son.
he looks really good.
Too.
Like, obviously, he hasn't played for 25 years. He's got some age on him, and unfortunately, he's had some health issues as well that he's working through. But I tell you what, he's bounced back. Just to see Gary Ablett Senior sitting on the bench, relaxing, enjoying a pretty big game, and kicked a couple tonight as well.
It's funny, we didn't actually notice that at all until we got the phone call from Richard Loveridge. Who said,
I'm telling you.
That wasn't Gary Senior, that was Gary Junior. So to Dickie Loveridge, who got robbed of a goal 20 years later, Gary Ablett Snur has taken it off you. There's a little bit of revenge, and he sits on the tribunal. Well, it's we believe Dickie Loveridge is on the tribunal.
He is, and at some point, it's going to come back to haunt the Cats. Hopefully not, but Gary Ablett Jr. hopefully doesn't have to go to tribunal. If he does, I know Dickie's going to go,
look out.
Payback time. All right, quickly, rest of the round, because round one, always exciting. We've seen two pretty good games, actually. Let's start all thanks to PointsBet. Tomorrow, the MCG. The D's, fair bit of hype around them, $1.30. The Power. coming into town without Charlie Dixon will be interesting, but no Stephen May for the D's, but who wins?
Very inexperienced Port Adelaide side. 4 debutants, 11 changes from their last round last year. Melbourne will win this by 40-plus points.
Port Adelaide will not make the 8.
I don't think they will either.
I said it this time last year, and I don't think they will. All right, next, Marcus, we've got, this one is a good game. We've got the team that will play in the grand final in the Adelaide Crows against the Hawks team without Tom Mitchell.
That will play in the grand final,
yes.
You said? Okay, yeah, I think the Crows get up at home. I'm loving what they're doing. The bounce back, no pre-season camp has held them in good stead. Brodie Smith and Miller off the half-back line. You just watch them cut the Hawks up.
Did you say to me last week that Miller will win the Brownlow?
No, I did not say that.
Surprise packet. What did you say
he was my Pal Pepper riser.
Riser, okay, cool. There you go. Obviously, big Saturday of games as well. The Bulldogs at home. Buddy Franklin in for the Swans at Marvel Stadium. And the Ford jumper will be out for the red, white and blue.
Dogs outsiders. I'm going to pick them to win this one. I think they can get up in an upset. I'm not too sure where the Swans are at. Who kicks the goals for the Dogs? Who cares? No one. Maybe Shaki.
Well, then you just picked them and then you're saying no one. No. Someone's going to have to kick a bag at some point.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, cool. The Lions are one of the most hyped teams of the off-season. Of course, Lachie Neale finds himself there, taking on the West Coast Eagles, who I still say are being disrespected by playing an away game on a twilight on a Saturday when they won the competition last year.
That's what sort of reward you get for winning a grand final. You go
longest trip.
One of the longest trips in AFL to play a young Brisbane Lions side who are starting to rise. The Gabba will become a fortress this year. This will be a close game. It'll be within 2 goals. But the Eagles will win.
All right, Sunday's games are going to be a big one because this is interesting. Of course, St Kilda have had their issues. We heard Alan Richardson speak about the hard task of trying to get Dan Hanbury up. Said they knew what they were getting into, but it's actually been harder to get him back to fitness as it has been. They're short price favourite against the Gold Coast Suns.
Who wins this game? This is a toss of the coin for me.
Not.
This is a toss of the coin. Any team could win. It might even be a draw.
St Kilda will win.
I'll go with the home side.
For all the many St Kilda fans, I hope they do win. The Giants, who you believe will win a flag?
Giants will win the flag.
Taking on your old team, the Bombers.
And unfortunately, I think they'll beat my old mob at Giants Stadium.
Giants Stadium.
I believe it is.
Renamed today. Looking forward to that. And the last game of the weekend, Fremantle at home against the North Melbourne Footy Club. Of course, the Jesse Hogan drama. Will it play into it at all?
Nah.
No?
Nah, it won't. The only way it will is he will not be out there.
Who wins then?
I want to say North, but
right.
I'll go with... Sorry, it's a bit of my dinner coming up, which...
Don't.
We won't go there.
No, we won't.
We won't go there.
So who wins? North or Dockers?
It was the wrong order.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Freo.
Big shout out to Owen, who actually got our order, and I hope you enjoyed it because we actually ordered some nice food. Either way, we're done. All thanks to PointsBet. That's the round. What are you most looking forward to? Where will you be?
I'll be doing the Saints and Gold Coast game on Sunday. So obviously the big dog gets all the big games on radio. That should be fun.
Well, thanks to PointsBet. Huge weekend of footy. Leave it locked on Channel 7. Download the PointsBet app. Always gamble responsibly. Good start, Adam. Nah, stuff it. See ya.
Our best show of the year.
Best show of the year.